Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing good. This is Fabrizio Bromano, aka the Kenyan Revolutionary. I'm bringing you this video today in response to a lot of vloggers out here who are talking about how Ruto should deal with Raila. I think I made a video about that. But I want to address the issues that are coming up right now. We saw Ichungwa yesterday. Kimani Ichungwa came up and suggested that Ruto should arrest, not Ruto, but the government basically should arrest Mr. Raila Odinga for this protest. And today, there's another senator from Kiambu who mentioned the same thing and urged the government to arrest Mr. Raila for the protest that he has been leading. And remember yesterday, Raila and the rest of the Azimio folks, they came out and said they will be having Mandamano every Tuesdays and Thursday. But here's the thing. I just want to make this clear again to the Azimio folks or to these vloggers. Because we are not looking closely at what these Azimio people are doing. I argued in my previous video that this Mandamano that's happening, it's not because of the things these people are saying. They claim that they are protesting because of high cost of living. They want to have a new commission in the IEBC. And 3, they want the servers to be opened by the government. Here's the deal. And I already talked about this, but I will do it one more time so you guys can understand this. It is not the government's job to open the servers. That's number one. The people who are employed by the government to come and collect this data and store it in the server did their jobs. Election was done and they finished their contract with the government and they're gone. Okay? So if Azimio wants the servers to be open, they should go to those people, the people who are contracted by the government, for them to open the servers. Number 2, regarding that too, well, we're still talking about the servers. The server has no real evidential advantage on anybody. Why? We don't need the server. The law is very clear. The presidential election results will be determined at the polling station. Meaning, I will repeat again, and I want you Azimio folks to pay close attention. I'm trying to make this video short. When the election was happening, okay? At the polling station, okay? Let's say Nakuru, Mombasa, whichever school district you are in, where the polling station is everywhere where there was a polling station. When the polling station was closed and the votes were counted, okay, whoever won, whoever had more votes in that polling station, the results were written down and announced there, then relayed to the servers, then physically the reporting officer will take it to the KICC or whatever the main place, the place where, you know, in Nairobi, okay? So, if you wanted to find out who won the election, all you had to do is this: monitor all the polling stations across the nation. All the polling station in Nyanza province, all the polling station in Coastal province, all the polling station in Central province. Now, add them up. If you add them all up, you can easily determine who won the presidential election. So the server it's just a storing unit, so to speak. Okay? And in the petition that was brought at the Supreme Court, this was done. The Supreme Court compared the results on the server and the results at the polling station, and there was the results were the same. So there was nothing to fight about. And that's why Azimio lost. They were told, hey, you don't have enough evidence to say that this election was not carried out appropriately. It was fair, free, and not opaque. It was transparent, all right? All right, I'll come back with the next part. The next issue is the cost of living. The cost of living has been high since Kenyatta's regime. 5 years ago, it started going up. The question that I asked my Azimio friends was, why didn't you guys go to the streets and protest about the cost of living, the high cost of living? Was it because Mr. Raila had the handshake with Uhuru? Mr. Raila was part of the government then? Because you guys never went out and protested. Raila never came out and said, hey, let's go protest on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Uhuru Kenyatta is making this economy tank. Let's go protest. That never happened. All right, let's move on from that. Now it is Ruto's turn. He's been there for what? 8 months, 6 months, 7, whatever the case is. It's not even been a year yet. But yes, the cost of living is up. But here's the thing. The cost of living cannot go down in a day or two just because, you're the president. Okay? There are certain things that the government can do that can bring down the cost of living. But these things will take time. Okay? Number one, the government can provide incentives, for example, to trigger or support high food production. Subsidize farming, okay? Help farmers produce more food. Let's say like maize, for example. Maize. The government can start encouraging farmers to produce more. That way, after a while, I don't know how much time that it takes maize to grow. I think it's 8 months or something like that. That way, when it's harvest season, we have enough, and that, in effect, brings the price of unga down. I just use that as an example. So what I'm trying to say is this. The economy you cannot just have 5 years of bad economy, 5 years of high price in commodities, then I become the president and say, okay, things might go halfway down. Let's bring down the price of... No, it doesn't work that way. There's some things that you have to take, action that the government can take, that should take, that can bring and improve the economy. I said production must be high. Same thing with unemployment. Okay? Let's revitalize these industries, whether it's the sugar industry, whether it's the coffee industry, whether it's the whatever industry we have in Kenya, oil, whatever. We just found gold in Narok. What I'm saying is this. The government can help, the private sector, and even the government itself can create jobs to help the youth be employed and give them meaningful income, something that can be sustainable, okay? Coming in as a president, you can't just say, okay, let's bring the price of everything down. It's not sustainable. Bring something that can stick. Bring in an industry, support an industry that can help people be employed for a long time. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. So for somebody to come in 6 months after election, losing an election, coming in and saying, we are protesting against this government because the cost of living is high, and the government has only been there barely 6 months in, that's being disingenuous to the public, to the people of Kenya. But unfortunately, the people throwing stones and destroying properties don't understand the dynamics of economy. So anything Raila says, they fall into it. They're not challenging what these people are trying to tell us. The reason why I'm saying this is because the reasons that Azimio are giving us for protesting don't hold water. Number 3, the Electoral Commission. They want a new Electoral Commission. Raila, when you went into that handshake with Uhuru, why didn't you tell Uhuru, hey, listen, Uhuru, this Chebukati guy messed up the previous elections, okay? Why can't we have an overhaul or change the personnel in the Electoral Commission so that next time we have an election, we don't have to face the same troubles that we're facing? Because we are literally facing the same problems we had in 2017, 2007, 2000 and two? Well, that one was a different one because Kibaki won overwhelmingly. So that's what I'm saying. These are the people who are in a position to make a difference, and they did not. Now that they've lost elections, they want to cause chaos. Let's get to this protest thing. I want to make this video short. It's already 10 minutes, but I'll still go on because there's so much to discuss. Let's talk about these elections. This Mandamano. Are these protests really protected in the Constitution? Are they really legal? We saw the EFF in South Africa, how the protest, it was peaceful. The leaders were with the Wananchi. They were peacefully marching through the streets of Johannesburg and elsewhere. Okay, there was skirmishes here and there, but it wasn't that much. How about what happened in Kenya? What was the difference? Raila goes by in Nairobi, and what happens? People are shot, people are jailed, people are having fights, properties damaged, businesses ruined. Is this really a protest? I told you before in my previous video that the aim of these Mandamanos is not what they are telling us. Their aim is to try to destabilize the government. I told you. And they started this off once this Ruto administration started going after the Kenyattas, the Matiangis, okay? The former inspector, whatever, the guy who was killing people during Kenyatta's regime. Once Ruto started going after these guys, the Kenyattas, asking them to pay taxes from the days back, they started funding this Mandamano to cause chaos in a way of telling Ruto, hey, if you're trying to get this money going after us, we shall destabilize your government. I offered what Ruto can do to bring these people down. And Ruto has been listening to me. He has tried to tell the UN, hey, sanction these people. Ruto, start the sanctioning locally. Don't wait for the international community first. Okay? Write a letter to Raila Odinga. Write a letter to Mr. Kenyatta. Tell them, if this Mandamano continues and you guys keep on causing chaos, because that's what you're doing, you're not protesting. That is not picketing. That is not attacking police officers with stones, is not in the Constitution. It's not protected. You are being a security issue to the government. And if you continue doing this, guess what? Use as much force as you can, Mr. President. And yes, I am for arresting Mr. Raila and Kenyatta. Arrest those two, and if their supporters want to go to the streets, unleash the freaking military if you have to. It's time to deal with these elites, corrupt elites who think that they can hold the country hostage just because they want their personal interest to be met. We cannot have this. I'll keep this video short. Please, this is Fabrizio Brumano, aka the Kenyan Revolutionary. Subscribe, share, tell me what you think. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace and blessings.